My friend, you are not a boring person. You are not uninteresting or too introverted or weird or awkward or any of the things you tell yourself. You are simply suppressing your personality without realizing. You're suppressing the interesting parts of yourself, the things about you which stand out, which are unique, and would draw people towards you, usually, instead of pushing them away. The things which make you an individual, you are homogenizing them. You are making yourself come across less interesting without even realizing. And I'm going to prove it to you in this video. So, for years and years, all throughout high school, people only ever saw me a certain way. They saw me as this silent kid at the back of the class who never participated in the discussions, who had never even, you know how you had like random seating plans, you would end up sitting next to someone in class, you might not have been friends with them. Usually you might exchange a few words with this person, but not me, bro. Like, I would just completely blank the person sitting next to me. I had this reputation for just being just this completely shy, awkward, silent person who never said anything in class. And yeah, that's just how people saw me, and they take the piss out of me for it. I remember I came into school once and people started this rumor, not even like a rumor, just a joke that just spread like way too quickly, it lost control, that I was the new kid. Because the joke was, I never say anything. People don't know who I am. Oh, he must be the new kid. So for like 2 years straight, people just used to say, hey, new kid. And that cut me fucking deep, bro. That cut me like deeper than most people will ever realize. Because for a lot of people, it wasn't malicious. Maybe for some people it was, but they didn't know how much this hurt me. Because the reason I was that quiet was because I had extreme anxiety. To the point where, like, again, I couldn't even attempt to have a conversation with the person sitting next to me. The words just wouldn't come out of my mouth. I just freeze up. I just feel so like tense and uncomfortable in the moment. So I kind of thought, I think the logic I used to explain that was like, what's the point in even trying? I'm just going to sit here and get on my work. Surely if I just try and keep my head down and get on with my work, then people will leave me alone. And unfortunately, high school rarely works like that. I think that if anything, that makes you even more of a target for people who want to pick on you. But yeah, this anxiety, it just got to this uncontrollable level where like I would literally skip out on registration a couple of mornings a week, like enough that I wouldn't get into serious trouble, but I just tell my teacher I missed the bus or something, because I just couldn't stand that uninterrupted period where like you're just expected to talk to the people in your class. I thought most of them were cunts, to be honest, and I didn't want to talk to them anyway, but I just had massive anxiety. Like, oh, bro, I need to tell you, like, the worst thing was, imagine you walk into a class late. You walk into a class late and suddenly everyone just turns and stares at you. But for me, it would be like I'm getting fucking heckled. People are like shouting at me. They're calling me the new kid. Everyone's eyes just on me. It's the worst thing ever. And yeah, like it was either like making up excuses as to why I was late to school, or I just fucking lock myself in a bathroom stall, like not. Just my objective throughout this entire school day was try and go unnoticed. But here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Everyone saw me in that way, apart from my friends. Because around my friends, I was not introverted. I was not shy. I'd probably say I was one of the most extroverted people in my group of friends at school. The problem is no one else would ever see that. Around my friends, I was lively. I had super high energy. Usually I'm silent, Around my friends, I'm like extremely loud, like fucking shouting, just being crazy, being goofy. And it's even like this now. Like, I can be a little bit reserved around people I don't know that well, but once I get to know you, I'm fucking loud, I'm high energy. And I'll be making all these jokes, laughing, really unafraid to just say anything, like saying the dumbest shit and not feeling like I'm gonna get mocked for it. So yeah, I always kind of wondered, like, why the fuck can I not just be like this around other people? And I think I kind of knew the answer to that already, but I would have just said, this is just social anxiety. That's all it is. And I'm gonna put it in the title, something about social anxiety. But if you've made it this far, like, I could just end the video now and be like, oh yeah, so it was social anxiety. You know, this is what you need to do. I'm gonna teach you what you need to do. But I want to actually explain what social anxiety is, because it's not what you think it is. Most people actually haven't got like the first clue about where social anxiety really comes from. So the reason for like what I would describe as my inconsistent personality, my suppressed personality, what I couldn't bring this like loud, fun side out of myself around other people. The reason for that is your true personality can only come out when you feel safe. Sounds like common sense. What you need to understand is anxiety. That is your fight or flight response. That's your body telling yourself, your nervous system telling yourself to get the fuck out of whatever situation you're in, because you are not safe, because you're in danger. Your nervous system perceives some kind of danger in your environment. This probably all sounds like common sense, but people don't ever ask where this is coming from. Why does my body sense danger in my environment? Well, at the time, in school, I was in danger. I was in danger, not in physical danger. I was in danger of emotional harm, of getting bullied, getting shamed, getting humiliated. And that had happened so many times to me up to this point, even before I made almost a conscious decision to just like keep my head down and not engage with everyone. I was getting humiliated and made to feel just terrible. So your anxiety, you've got to think of it as something which kicks in for a reason. It's there to protect you from harm. And ultimately, the harm in this case is feeling those like extremely negative emotions. I always use this example. If this ever happens to you, you'll know how bad it feels. But imagine the teacher picks on you or something. You mess up the answer and everyone laughs. There's like a good uninterrupted 5-10 seconds of everyone laughing at you. And you're going red in the face. Just the shame and embarrassment you feel is comparable to like the worst things you'll feel in your entire life. And that experience is so bad that your nervous system almost learns, like, I need to protect myself from feeling this again at all costs. And that is where anxiety kicks in, because your anxiety will be triggered by anything that even vaguely reminds you of what is happening now. So I've been talking about school this entire video. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I still have social anxiety and I'm not in school anymore. But the thing is, my social anxiety is almost working overtime now. It's trying to protect me from danger, and there isn't necessarily any danger there anymore. When I meet people for the first time, like, listen, I'm a confident person, I can hold a conversation, but there's some certain experiences that still trigger this anxiety that make me feel like a school kid. And I know that's my body trying to protect me, because it's being reminded of some situation in my present day or from the past that somehow like relates slightly to this present day experience. It's like certain people who have like quite dominant personalities, who have like loud personalities, they trigger something inside of me. And I know that is because on a subconscious level, they remind me of people who picked on me in school. They might be a really nice person. They might be like fucking Mother Teresa for all I know. But if they have this specific personality type, that triggers something in my body, because ultimately my nervous system is trying to protect me from feeling that bad like I did in the past. So that's where anxiety comes from. That is the root of anxiety. And I'm willing to bet most of you, I mean, you might be in a really bad situation, but most people watching this, maybe if you're a bit older like me, you're not in danger in your day-to-day life. Like when I have to go and give a presentation at work, it would be normal to feel like a bit of anxiety, but sometimes I just start spiraling. I've nearly had a panic attack sometimes at work. And that is not healthy, that is not normal. That is my brain and my nervous system reacting to fear from the past. So I've had to go on this journey with this. Because, oh yeah, I haven't even explained how like this is like suppressing your real personality. So the reason you like freeze up in conversations and you're so hesitant or whatever when you're anxious, that's because, again, your body literally believes it's about to die. And when your body is in like this survival mode, this fight or flight, it shuts down everything non-essential to survival. So your ability to think clearly, literally the part of your brain, the creative part of your brain that thinks what to say next, it shuts it down. Your ability to tell a story, your expressiveness, how lively you are in conversations, everything gets muted. So you just end up being like this kind of like boring person. You're not actually boring. You're just in fight or flight. You're just like having this like overactive anxiety response. And that makes you come across as like a more muted, dull version of yourself. So I want to leave you with one really important insight. The root of fixing this problem, and even that language is that I'm using there, like fixing the problem, even that's like a little bit unhelpful, because we're not really looking, if you're someone with anxiety, it sounds kind of like backwards, but it's not really a problem we should be looking to fix, because that implies we're resisting it. That implies we're trying to push it away. And the reason resisting anxiety doesn't work is because when you're resisting something, what are you telling yourself? You're saying, it's not okay for me to be feeling this. It's not okay. There's going to be some kind of negative consequence to me feeling anxiety. And in a way, like, I can understand you thinking that based on this video so far. I've told you all these things about how it makes you kind of boring and suppresses your personality. But what that does is it reinforces the danger that you feel. It's telling you there is some kind of danger here and I need to push it away. I need to fight it. When really what I've been learning to do, and it's the only thing that's ever helped me, is just accept that it's there. It's to accept it, to not try and fight it. It's telling myself in the moment, look, you're feeling anxious. But unlike before, you know what this means. You know where this is coming from. You're reacting to old fear. You're reacting to danger from the past. This is my body trying to protect me. But it's trying to protect me from danger that isn't there anymore. I'm looking into situations from the past as a way of explaining what's going to happen, predicting some kind of outcome. Everyone's going to laugh at me or shame me. But I'm not in high school anymore. I'm not in any danger. 9 times out of 10, if I make a mistake, people aren't going to shame me. I've not got anything to fear here. So acknowledging that's where the anxiety is coming from, and then feeling the anxiety in your body. Because for so long we told ourselves that this is something we should push away. We can't be feeling this. This is a bad thing. And almost just accepting it, like this is just a feeling that exists in my body. It's not positive, it's not negative. I don't have to give it any meaning. I don't have to like it, I don't have to enjoy the feeling, but it's there. I know where it's coming from, and I know that the reason it's there is kind of misplaced. You could even look at it as a good thing in a way, like this is there to protect me, like I know my body is working right, but ultimately, this anxiety is there but I don't have to push it away. And it won't really make sense, and this is something that it's almost like a skill you have to train, but first of all, just acknowledging that it's there. In the moment, that can be difficult when a situation is unfolding in front of you, but this will improve with time. Even acknowledging it's there breaks this kind of pattern, that like spiral we're in. It breaks this pattern. And even for like a 5-second moment, you can be like, actually, I'm okay. It might come back after that, it might come back, but the more you keep practicing this, just becoming aware of it, not attaching any meaning to it, the longer that period will last for. It'll go from 5 seconds to 10 seconds to a minute. This is what I'm finding now, like, I can almost put my anxiety into bed before it really starts, like, well, it just doesn't really have power over me. And a bit of anxiety is normal, let's be real. When you start spiraling, that's not normal, that's you looking to the past. But a bit of anxiety, that's fine. And you can tolerate it. So yeah, that's all I've got to say today. Have a good one, bro.